Good day. My topic for nematodes is all about Enteropius vermicularis. Contents. It talks about what is pinworm, the epidemiology and the risk factor, the disease, biology, where it talks about the life cycle of the pinworm, the diagnosis and the treatment. What is Enterobius vermicularis? This is a nematode that is a small, thin, white roundworm that also known as a pinworm called Enterobius vermicularis that sometimes live in the colon and rectum of humans. These pinworms are about the length of a staple. These female pinworms leave the intestine where the infected person sleeps at night, where they deposit their eggs through the anus on the surrounding skin. Where the pinworm infection is also called the enterobiasis or oxyriasis, this could cause itching around the anus, where the female pinworm laying her eggs surrounding the skin of the anus. This pinworm infection usually mild and some infected people have no symptoms or asymptomatic. Pinworm infections occurs persons of all ages, but it is most commonly occur in school age and preschool age children, institutionalized persons, and household members and caretakers of persons with pinworm infection. So how does the pinworm infection spread? A pinworm infection is spread by the fecal-oral route, that is by transfer of infected pinworm eggs from the anus to someone's mouth, either directly by hand or indirectly through contaminated clothing, bedding, food, or other articles, such as toilet sets. Once someone has ingested the pinworm eggs, there is an incubation occur period of 1 to 2 months or longer for the adult gravid female to mature in the small intestine. So once mature, the adult female worm migrates to the colon and deposits their eggs through the anus around the surrounding skin at night. So they deposit their eggs where the hosts are asleep. Those people that are infected with pinworm infection, they can also transfer the parasite to others for as long as there is a female pinworm depositing eggs on the perineal skin. The most common clinical manifestation of a pinworm infection is an itchy anal region. When the infection is heavy, there can be a secondary bacterial infection due to the irritation and scratching of the anal area. Gravid adult female or Enterobius vermicularis deposit their eggs on the perineal folds. Then, the infection occurs via self-inoculation by transferring eggs to the mouth with hands that have scratched the perineal area or through the exposure to eggs in the environment. Example is the contaminated surfaces. Then, following the ingestion of the infected eggs, the larvae hatch the small intestine, and the adults establish themselves in the colon, usually the cecum. Then, the time interval from ingestion of infected eggs to oviposition by the adult female is about 1 month. At full maturity, adult females measures here, so adult female measures 8 to 13 millimeters and adult males measures 2 to 5 millimeters. The adult lifespan is about 2 months. So gravid females migrate nocturnally outside the anus and oviposit while crawling on the skin of the perineal area. So the next is the larvae contained inside the eggs, then develop. The eggs become infective in 4 to 6 hours under the optimal conditions. So rarely, eggs may become airborne and be inhaled and swallowed. Reinfection or the migration of newly hatched larvae from the anal skin back into the rectum may occur, but the frequency with which this happens is unknown. So how does the pinworm infection diagnosed? So a person that is infected with pinworm, they are often asymptomatic, but itching around the anus is a common symptom. Diagnosis of pinworm can be reached from 3 simple techniques. First, look for the worms in the perineal region 2 to 3 hours after the infected person is asleep. Second, touch the perineal skin with transparent tape to collect possible pinworm eggs around the anus first thing in the morning. And lastly, analyzing samples from under fingernails under a microscope. How is pinworm infection treated? So the medication used for the treatment of pinworms are either mebendazole, the pyrantel palmate, and the albendazole. This treatment involves 2 doses of medication, with the second dose being given 2 weeks after the first dose. So the reinfection can occur easily, so strict observance of good hygiene, that is, a proper hand washing, maintaining clean short fingernails, and avoid nail biting, and also avoid scratching the perineal area. A simple prevention of pinworm infection is to have a daily morning bathing and daily changing of underwear that helps removes a large proportion of eggs. Further, careful handling and frequent changing of underclothing, nightclothes, towels, and bedding can help reduce infection, reinfection, and environmental contamination with pinworm eggs. That's all, thank you. I hope you learned something about the Enterobius vermicularis.